Positively Arts, a Las Vegas nonprofit using creativity to empower young minds, and they've been at it since 2014.
I've been looking into them, and it's fascinating how they go beyond just your typical art class. They're not just teaching kids how to play the guitar. They're using those creative processes, the music, all of it, as tools to help these kids build essential life skills.
Yeah. And that really resonated with me because I think back on my time in school, even just putting together the school play, it taught me so much about teamwork, problem solving, even though I wasn't exactly the star of the show.
It's amazing, though, how those hands-on experiences, they translate so well into valuable life lessons.
Yeah.
And that's a cornerstone of Positively Art's whole approach. They've really embraced what's called this project-based learning model,
Okay.
where kids are encouraged to learn by doing. Studies have actually shown that this kind of hands-on project-based learning, it can lead to a much deeper understanding of those concepts.
Right.
And increased engagement, because the information just becomes more meaningful because it's tied to a real-world application.
It's like the difference between reading about cooking and actually getting your hands dirty in the kitchen. It just sticks with you in a different way.
Absolutely.
And Positively Arch isn't stopping there. Tell me more about this integrated learning approach I keep hearing about.
So they've woven academics into all their programs in a way that feels very organic, very engaging. So instead of seeing subjects as all these separate silos,
Right.
they're showing these kids how everything connects. Like a history lesson might involve the kids at Positively Arts, researching and designing period costumes, giving them a very tangible, very memorable connection to the era they're studying.
That's incredible. It's no wonder that they've been able to impact the lives of over 20,000 children since they began.
It's really something. And it's important to note that their impact, it goes way beyond just the number of kids they've reached.
Okay.
They're also making a real effort to level the playing field.
Okay.
They've provided over $200,000 in scholarships
Wow.
to make sure that low-income and at-risk youth can still access these programs.
That's a powerful statement right there. To their commitment to equity and inclusion, they recognize that talent and creativity, it can blossom anywhere if it's given the right environment.
I agree.
This isn't just about art, is it?
No.
It's about creating a community
Yes,
where every child feels seen, heard, and valued.
precisely.
Mm.
And that's where their focus on developing well-rounded individuals really shines. They're not just measuring success by artistic talent or academic achievement,
Right.
but by fostering those crucial social emotional skills that are just essential for navigating life's ups and downs.
What does that look like in action?
Well, they work really hard to create the supportive environment
Yeah.
where kids feel safe to take risks, to make mistakes even,
Yeah.
and really learn from those experiences. Because, I mean, let's be honest, that's how we grow, right? Creatively, personally, all of it.
It's like that old saying, you learn more from your failures than from your successes. But it takes a certain environment to feel safe enough to actually embrace those failures, like as chances to grow.
Absolutely. And that's something Positively Arts gets.
Yeah.
They're not just teaching kids how to paint a picture or play an instrument. They're teaching them how to persevere when things get tough, how to communicate their ideas so people really listen,
Yeah.
and how to work together with other people.
Yeah.
And these are skills that they go way beyond just the art studio or the stage. These are skills that empower these kids, these young people, to become confident, engaged people.
It's like they're giving them a toolkit
Yeah.
for life.
Mm.
Not just for art class, for life. And to be honest, that's something I wish I had more of growing up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say I didn't like my art classes, but there's this other level of learning that happens when you connect those creative experiences with real world skills, real world problems.
It's huge. And it's something that, like, educators are realizing more and more, you know?
Yeah.
This whole idea of social emotional learning. It's not just about what we know.
Right.
It's about how we interact
Yes. Yes.
with the world around us, with other people.
So, for our listeners who maybe haven't heard that term before, can you unpack that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure.
What does social emotional learning, what does that really mean? And how does Positively Arts help it happen?
Okay, so social emotional learning, sometimes it's called SEL. It's about developing those really important skills that help us deal with relationships, manage our emotions, make good decisions.
Right.
Things like being aware of yourself, empathy, communication, how to handle conflict. Those all fit under that umbrella.
Uh-huh.
And those aren't just like nice to have.
Right.
Those are crucial for success
Yeah.
in school, in the workplace, in life.
It's building a good foundation
Yeah.
for everything else you do in life, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like Positively Arts is doing a phenomenal job of weaving that into their program.
Well, they really are. And they're getting these amazing results. And they track their impact, not just through the art that's made, but through the actual personal growth that they see in their students.
That's really interesting. Do you have an example of what that looks like in real life?
Sure. There's this one young man, he was so shy when he first came to Positively Arts. Painfully shy, really withdrawn, but he loved music. But the thought of performing, even just the thought of it, terrified him. So through the music program, he slowly started to feel comfortable enough to share his music with other people.
Yeah.
It started small, just performing for his classmates, but he kept going. Eventually, he worked his way up to playing at this whole community event that Positively Arts put on.
That's incredible.
It was an amazing transformation.
Yeah.
This kid who used to be so timid, he found his voice,
Yeah.
literally and metaphorically, through music.
That's just such a powerful example of how art can empower people and help them be everything that they can be. It's so much more than just learning like how to play an instrument. It's about building that confidence, getting over your fears, finding your voice.
And that's what makes Positively Arts so unique. They truly get that art has this power to change lives, not just because of the skills you learn, but because of that sense of belonging, that feeling of empowerment that it creates. And it's something we all need.
It's really inspiring to hear about the work they're doing. And it makes me think about what art means in our lives. And not just for kids, right? We've talked a lot about creativity, self-expression, resilience, all those things. And those are all so valuable.
Absolutely.
No matter how old you are. It's easy to think about art as this thing over there, you know?
Right.
Separate, something we appreciate, but, from a distance. Or maybe we try it out in our free time if we have any.
Yeah, as a hobby.
But really, those urges to create, that need to express ourselves and connect with something bigger, that's part of what makes us human, I think.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just disappear when you get older or when you get a quote-unquote real job.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's almost more important now to tap into that creative energy, that willingness to try new things, think differently.
So as we're wrapping up Positively Arts and the work they're doing, I wanna leave our listeners with this. What can you learn from them? How can you bring a little more of that creativity, that self-expression into your own life, even just little ways?
Yeah, it's a great question. Maybe it's picking up that paintbrush you haven't touched in years, or trying a new recipe, or even just looking at an old problem in a totally new way.
Right.
There's really so many possibilities. But the thing to remember is that power of art, that energy, that Positively Arts does such a great job of fostering.
Yeah.
It's not stuck in a classroom.
Right.
It's not just on a stage. It's in all of us.
That's a beautiful thought to end on.